Over the past few years, MrBeast has become the king of the YouTube algorithm, but with so much success comes the copycats. Someone who managed to do something different for a change is Airrack. He came out of nowhere and suddenly became one of the fastest growing YouTubers in 2020. Airrack is not only going to change YouTube, but he's also going to become the next MrBeast. Eric Decker was born on January 12, 1997 in Atlanta, Georgia, and from a young age, the only thing he wanted to do was be a YouTuber.
I've been wanting to do YouTube since I was in 5th grade.
He grew up on YouTube and that was all he would really think about. This is probably why he wasn't known as the popular kid in high school. On April 27, 2012, Eric made a YouTube channel, Fresh Flipping, about some kids doing some tricks, which are 100% self-taught. At this time, he would have been 15 years old, but it wasn't until June 5th that he made his first video where he shows himself doing a double front flip and double back flip. Impressive. This was his first taste in content creation, but after 12 videos, he quit, posting his last video on November 24th, 2014. And that's where his journey would end. If it weren't for the boys! Because on January 13th, 2015, Eric, along with two of his buddies, Sam and Josiah, made a YouTube channel with the boys, which marked the beginning of the boys you know, known as Irak, Broziah, and Sam Thomas. This was also around the same time when Eric made his channel, Airrack, and it wasn't until a full year later that he posted his first video, making a night lapse. Just beautiful. For the next 2 years, with the boys would go on to upload 80 vlogs.
Like, I've always been super into YouTube. And at the time, like, Casey was this huge thing. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna make freaking identical Casey videos.
They would be revolved around their daily lives, which is also the time Eric went to college. He attended the University of North Georgia. But in reality, college was never his calling.
And the goal was, I want to build a 6-figure company so that I can justify leaving school.
So he did just that. Eric started a wedding business and within a year built it to a 6-figure company, and the rest is history. But there's a lot more to this story. For starters, Eric had no idea what he was doing. He never built a company, he doesn't know anything about production, or at least he didn't at the time, but he had one thing that separated him from the competition: the right offer.
Make people offer so good they'd feel stupid saying no.
We do something called the 48-hour wedding film.
We saw that many wedding videographers and photographers were taking up to 4 months to get their videos and photos back to couples, and we wanted to change that. We have worked tirelessly for the past year to create systems and processes to create stunning wedding films and photos in just 48 hours. Eric had found his competitive advantage.
I would run Facebook ads, book weddings in different states, and then find subcontracted videographers to actually shoot the weddings. And then when they would ship the drives overnight to an editor, they would edit the videos, and that's what I was running.
Eric was 19 years old, and it looked like he was killing it. But in reality, he had a horrible partner, and shortly afterwards had to buy him out, which took a massive toll on him.
I went in like tremendous amounts of debt in order to buy him out and just had to grind that company for a year.
Eric hit rock bottom. The year is 2019, and Eric had time to develop his skills and build up some capital. So it was finally time for him to take another shot at YouTube. He had around 131 subscribers at the time, and on July 9th, 2019, posted his first video.
What's going on, guys? We are here in somewhere in rural Georgia. I'm not really sure where, aka the shooting spot of the iconic show Stranger Things.
The idea was genius, and it was the start of his master plan: social hacking, which is basically making content about a trend with the goal of riding its wave of attention and capture a small percentage of that large audience. Eric's version of this was using Stranger Things. He came at the right moment when it was just shooting up in popularity. Then, on his second video, he did it again, sneaking into the real Hawkins lab. On his third video, he switched things up a bit and decided to do the craziest thing. He skateboarded 225 miles across California, and this gained attention from news outlets and even got covered on Right This Minute. But even so, after all this, his first month on YouTube took him to 142 subscribers. But Eric didn't care. He kept posting and posting, and by the end of 2019, he posted 14 videos and had accumulated 727 subscribers. Most people would give up at this point, but Eric isn't like most people. He had huge plans for next year, and no one was going to stop him. It is now 2020, the world is shut down, and for most people, this will be the worst year yet.
I will either succeed or die trying. Those are the only two options in my mind.
According to TubeBuddy, it takes 3,873 videos for creators to get 1 million subscribers. But Eric is different.
And my goal is to 1, hit 1 million subscribers by the end of the year. 2, to prove that in 2020, if you work hard and you take risk, you can still make it as a creator on YouTube.
After 58 uploads, he hits 1 million subscribers and proved that you can still make it as a creator in 2020.
Oh my God! Let's go, bro.
But let's go back a bit. What exactly did he do to get there? First of all, Eric was willing to experiment. Oftentimes, creators get into the habit of only posting what works for them and never switching things up. In the short term, this is great because the audience gets exactly what they want. But eventually, it gets boring and then the views start to slowly die off. In 2020, his first few videos were the stereotypical YouTuber ideas, doing something strange in public, and pranks. He needed to think bigger.
I was built for this moment. I'm bad at a lot of things in life. The one gift I was given was sneaking into places. Today I exercise that gift.
He's talking about sneaking into Jake Paul's fight as a fake news reporter, and this is exactly the type of content that would define Airrack. So he bought a one-way ticket to Miami, obtained an all-access pass, snuck into the fight, got to Logan Paul, and handed him his resume.
I will say, out of every time I've been approached by anyone asking me about anything, this is the most impressive.
Unfortunately, Eric never got the job, but he did get something else.
That clip went viral everywhere. And I remember my real-time views going from like 100 views an hour to like 2,000 views an hour, like that. And like after that, it was just every day the views would get bigger and bigger. And I just knew my job from there was just never stop making videos.
This was exactly the type of momentum he needed. Eric's next big idea was sneaking into Dan Bilzerian's party. He spent all his money on a ticket to LA and did the impossible.
Somebody told me that Dan Bilzerian was hosting a Valentine's Day party. So I freaking buy a ticket to LA and I just pull up the day of his party. Nobody's getting in. David Dobrik is waiting outside the gate getting told no. I sneak in early with a fake Ignite t-shirt on, and then I hide in Dan Bilzerian's bushes for like 5 hours, and I just party the night away.
And the video was a banger, amassing over 800,000 views within 5 days. But not everyone liked the video. And I'm talking about Dan Bilzerian because he was going to pursue legal action and Eric had to take the video down.
So at the end of the day, if this video was a tool that helped me get in front of more audience and more people like you guys who enjoy these videos, then that is a win in my eyes.
This is still a win because he got a lot of attention, and by the end of April, he had over 127,000 subscribers. Eric was also a master of series content. His next 6 videos would be episodic videos about Logan Paul's couch. Looking back at it, it was the smartest thing he could have done as it grew his channel tremendously. But at the time, it was a risky move.
Because this is like so much risk, it makes my stomach hurt.
Logan Paul posted on his Instagram story that he's trying to get rid of his Mercedes-Benz couch. This brought a light bulb moment to Eric to buy the couch, which would be the first episode in the couch series.
So after a few weeks, I finally realized no one was gonna buy this couch, so I'm gonna have to do it.
I took out an SBA loan for $17,500. I opened an LLC called Airrack and Associates LLC. And then I went to the bank the next day and applied for an SBA loan of $17,500. Got it a day later, cashed the entire thing out in 20s, packed it in a backpack, bought a flight to LA, and got a U-Haul, bought a fake California phone number and was communicating with his assistant and told them that we were professional furniture buyers.
Eric successfully bought the couch and accomplished 2 things. He solved Logan's problem.
My one birthday wish that I actually wanted was for someone to buy these couches, and you did it.
And he gave Logan free content. This was the formula he continued to use for the rest of the couch series, and the goal was to collab with as many YouTubers as possible.
The couches are made up of 4 separate pieces, and our goal is to take these 4 pieces and collaborate with as many YouTubers as possible and create a culture around the couches. Couch culture.
And during the whole series, he ended up collabing with Tanner Fox, Eric Tabak, GT Dave, FaZe Rug, Jake Paul, ZHC, Brendan Hayard, Jay Alvarez, of course, Logan Paul. During the month of May, his sub count skyrocketed to over 284,000 subscribers. But he was just getting started. He continued social hacking and continued to make videos about other large creators, from Jake Paul to David Dobrik to finally the YouTube king himself, MrBeast. He posted his infamous video, I stole MrBeast's $800,000 island, and right before he conquered the island, he called out Chandler to a challenge, and whoever wins gets to keep the island. MrBeast called Eric and tells him that Chandler actually sold the island, so the collab wasn't gonna happen. At least, not yet. But one good thing did come out of it when MrBeast said,
I think you're going to be big YouTubers. It's obvious you understand the game and you're driven and dedicated. So, like, there's no doubt in my mind within a few years you'll have 10 million subscribers.
When one of the biggest creators on YouTube says something like that, you know it's gotta be true. And Eric took it to heart. He was unstoppable. He posted video after video, from delivering the world's largest pizza, to stealing David Dobrik's girlfriend, to sneaking into Jake Paul's fight again, and with less than 2 weeks, 2020 was coming to an end. On December 19th, he posted this video saying that he was still 200,000 subscribers away from reaching his goal. So he created the Save Airrack campaign, which was one of the most successful subscriber affiliate programs. Depending on how many subscribers you referred, you got prizes like getting a handwritten thank you note for referring 5 subscribers, to getting a collab with Irak for the most subscribers referred. The next day, he got an additional 25,000 subscribers. But it wasn't enough. For his final video of the year, he had to do something crazy. Irak and Max stranded themselves in an abandoned island for about 6 days and weren't leaving until they hit 1 million subscribers.
I'm literally not leaving until we hit 1 million.
And on December 27th, they did it.
Oh my God. Let's go, bro.
But this was just the beginning. 2021 would go on to be a crazier year. Irak continued doing the same stuff that worked, which was his series content. This would be with a fake Tesla, a saw bicycle, and viral DJ videos. He also continued his sneaking into places videos, like sneaking into the Super Bowl, Jake Paul's fight, Logan Paul's fight, and festivals. He even started to become a pioneer, and other creators started copying him. This is when you know you made it. But I also want to point out, Irak also did copy, like his Bermuda Triangle video. He also ended up deleting his channel on November 3rd, which was probably to get attention for his ping pong competition. By the end of 2021, he amassed over 3.1 million subscribers. Throughout the past years, he's built up one of the most loyal subscribers, also known as the Mafia. So as a way to give back, Irak ended up buying a plot of land in Southern California available for anyone to use. 2022 would go on to be an even greater year. At this point, Irak has inspired so many people. He's already launched his Creator Now course, which has become the #1 community for creators in the world. He started a company, Pizzafy, selling his transformational liquid, which turns anything into pizza flavor. And on October 2022, he finally reached 10 million subscribers. And as promised, he'd be hosting the world's biggest pizza party and breaking the record for the biggest pizza in LA on January 18th, 2023. He also hosted one in New York a few months before, and the line was massive. Unfortunately, I didn't come early enough and had to wait nearly 4 hours, but I finally got to meet Irak in a group photo.
I think what I have that Jimmy doesn't have, and I've talked to Jimmy about this, is like, I think I am a much better storyteller, and I like understand how to make a video that's actually interesting. Like, you feel something emotionally when you watch it. You know what I mean? That's my goal. And I think that is the next coming of YouTube. So I take being the second coming of MrBeast as a positive thing.